you doing? I'm so glad that you're joining me today. We've got a 45-minute feel-good stretch. And without further ado, let's just get started. Let's feel good and get that energy up. All right. Whenever you're ready, we always take time for grounding. There is always time for grounding. Whenever you're ready, inhale and exhale. Allow your eyelids to fall closed. Your legs are crossed in Sukhasana position. Of course, unless you have knee injury or knee soreness, in which case you'll just stretch your legs out. Your hands can be cupped over your knees or your palms face the sky. Exactly that. The first few moments, just give yourself permission to arrive. Maybe checking in with yourself just to see how you're doing today. Perhaps it feels very much like a Monday for you today. Maybe the days start blurring together as we remain in community / also in isolation. And just allowing what is. And wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, let's take a releasing breath to cleanse that. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. Letting go of all that does not serve you, anything that seems to weigh heavy, just to hold you back. And you're invited to take as many of these releasing breaths as you need, as you'd like, throughout the practice, throughout your days. And as you sink back into your body, it's like you can feel it happening. The sensation of the mat underneath your sit bones becomes more substantial. You begin to notice different parts of you that maybe in the midst of the hustle and bustle, you may not otherwise notice. Perhaps there's the softening of the shoulders away from your ears. You begin to notice the insides of your palms, cool or hot or tingly. Maybe in the soles of your feet. And as you begin to totally arrive, being right here, right now on your mat, into your practice, do your first body scan and begin to notice the areas of tension that you might be holding, usually the sides of the temples, the jaws, the shoulders, and the hips. Just notice where that is within you. And just simply soften. Almost like this full body relief. And knowing that at least for the next 45 minutes, there is nothing else you need to do. No one else that you need to try to be. No expectations from yourself or anyone else. Just you, and your breath. And feel that body releasing, kind of a relief and kind of a freedom. And as you allow that to soak in. And finally, before we move into movement, just notice that breath. Don't change anything yet. Don't shift anything. And just noticing where that breath is coming from, where it's coming to. And the thing about our breath is that it's such a good indicator of our internal world. If we are indeed stressed or otherwise our attention has been taken away from what is presence, we can usually feel that in our breath. The breath might be fragmented or it might feel short, like you can't ever catch a good full breath. Never any need for judgment though. Just noticing. No, I should be breathing better, or of course I should be breathing this way because, or shouldn't. Just what is. One of the enlightened teachers that we have in this world, Byron Katie, one of the most profound things I think that she says is, our suffering happens when we think that things should be other than what it is, when we think that reality should look different than what it is. And there's this sense of relief, this sense of freedom in just accepting what reality is right now. Not that you can't change it. But it's the shoulds, the shouldn'ts. Shoulding all over ourselves, right? Okay, shift your breath so that if you haven't already shifted, next inhale, take a long, deep inhale through your nostrils. Feel the air coming down through the back of your throat into both lungs, expanse. And exhale, take your time on that exhale as you allow every single bit of stale air out. Nice inhale, that cool air through your nostrils, down the back of your throat, into both lungs, filling up your lungs, filling up your heart. And exhale, imagining every single bit of that stale air, all that does not serve you, releasing with each exhale. And as your breath begins to slow, so does your pace. Slow, slow. And there's no rush. Not for now. Okay, feeling your whole self, your full self together on this mat. And with this emerging sense of inner peace that's always within you, sometimes you just gotta dig a little. With this emerging sense of clarity, let's begin our practice. On your next inhale, gently inhale, flutter your eyes open, arms up above your head, stretch up, reach up, maybe sway from side to side, that little morning stretch if you didn't get it this morning. And eventually you come back to center, reach forward, draw your belly button into your spine, round that upper back, upper neck area. Let it feel good as you release your shoulders, your upper back. Inhale, rise up one more time, sway from side to side, hanging on to either wrist. And just letting it feel good. And eventually draw forward, arms come forward, peel your belly button to the back of your spine. Inhale, rise up and twist towards your right-hand side. The twist coming from your torso, like as your ribs are spiraling around the axis of your spine, not so much from your neck. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, left-hand side. And there might not be very much movement here, and that's okay because we're just getting started. We're just waking up. Inhale, back to center, and let's do circles. Come on over toward the left-hand side, reach forward, or you can do the right if you feel like that. Reach forward and spiral over toward the right-hand side. Either way, we'll have a chance for both sides. Tipping onto your left-hand side, opening up that right side body, reach forward, opening up the back, and rock toward the right-hand side, opening up the left side body. Nice, a couple more of those. And get onto the other side. So if you started on the left-hand side, this time start on the right and vice versa. And just 3 or 4 more of those, beginning to bring a sense of flow into the practice. So today we're gonna hit every area, but no matter what it is that we're up to, the invitation for you to take what you need and leave what you don't still stands. If you prefer a child's pose or a downward dog at any point of our practice, take it. Let yourself have what you need. Eventually allow your hands to come down. That is the wisdom of your yoga practice. It's not so much about what you can do or what you can't do. It's about what do you need and allowing yourself to have that. Okay, let's do a twist. Left hand over your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twisting. Again, it's that rib cage spiraling around the axis of your spine, the movement coming from the trunk of your body. With that said, maybe you do take a peek behind that right shoulder. Inhale back to center and right hand over your left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twisting your gaze past that left shoulder, maybe. Okay, back to center. I know we've been through a lot. Again, at the best of times when we're sitting at our desk, the shoulders and the neck's tight as it is. But when we're dealing with uncertainty and everything that's going around in our environment, I'm pretty sure if it doesn't look like you've got your shoulders up to your ears, by now maybe it feels like it. Let's do the neck. Right ear to right shoulder, right hand over top of your head. You're not pulling on your head. You're just simply allowing the natural weight of that right hand to give you a little more traction along the left hand side of your neck, and maybe that left hand plants down onto the ground, only if you want more. Okay, and if you want more than that, lift your left fingers up toward the sky. You might even feel a little bit of that referral tension down your arm. More than that, you can lift your arm all the way up. I made that sound because my neck's pretty tense, so I'm going to leave my hand down there. Inhale. Exhale, and head comes up, hand comes down, left ear to left shoulder, left hand over top of your head. Again, not pulling, just gently allowing the natural weight of that left hand to guide your right ear away from your right shoulder. It's like you can feel them melting away from each other. And only if you want more, clamp that right hand down. And asking that one vital question to yourself, what do I need right now? It can be life-changing, literally, really, I'm not exaggerating. It can be life-changing, and only if you want more. Right fingers up toward the sky. Because it's when we can be kind to ourselves, compassionate to ourselves, that we begin to find the sense of ease, the sense of willingness to feel good. And of course, there's a ripple effect, because when we feel good, and others see that in us, and we want them to feel good, and we're more patient, we're more kind, we're more forgiving. Okay, inhale, head comes up, hand comes down. Tuck your chin towards your chest and rock your head over toward the left or the right, totally your choice. And just doing these kind of half moons. But move slow, slower than you want. And allow yourself to stop at the places where it feels the best, where you're getting the most opening, not forcing, but just allowing it to be there for a moment. Giving these places of tension a little bit of extra attention. Okay, eventually come on back to center. Interlace your hands behind the back of your head. And inhale, heart up toward the sky. And exhale, you're not pulling, you're just using your elbows to guide your chin towards your chest, opening up that upper back and the back of your neck. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. And exhale, tuck your chin toward your chest. One more, inhale, heart up toward the sky. And exhale, chin toward your chest. Nice. Inhale, head comes back, and interlace your hands behind your back. We're not going to pull it back, but we're just going to pull those knuckles straight down toward your tailbone. So if I had ribbons tied up against your knuckles, I'm just gently tugging them down. Heart up toward the sky. Focus on that sternum opening up toward the sky. And inhale, energize, opening up that heart space. Exhale, gently release. Hands come forward, feet come behind. I can't resist those of you who are in my in-person classes. Seriously, we haven't done one class without cat-cows, right? Inhale, tailbone to the sky, gaze up to the ceiling, cat-cows. Exhale, round your back. I think cat-cows are so wonderful for getting into flow. And also for warming up that spine, just keeping our practice safe. Inhale, tailbone to the sky, gaze up to the ceiling, and exhale, round your back. As you round your back, tuck your tailbone toward your belly button. Press your hands down toward the mat. Dome up that upper back area. Slow, there's no rush at all. Inhale, tailbone toward the sky. Notice that belly stretching out. Okay, we've done 3 classes now, so I get to say, as per usual, as you feel inclined to, if you feel inclined to, begin to free flow a little bit. This body awareness, this body exploration of what feels good and what do I need. If your hips are tight today, give yourself some hip circles. If your shoulders are tight, shoulder circles feel really good. You can even inhale one arm up toward the sky and exhale, sweep it underneath the other to get into those shoulders a little more. You've got time. You've got 10 whole breaths here. Move as you'd like. And I like it when we do this on video because seriously, nobody else is there. Make stuff up. There is no right or wrong when we're coming into this free flow. Noticing how the back of your leg line might feel. If they're tight, then maybe you stretch one leg out and then the other. Last 5 breaths on your own. And eventually, after that 5th breath, your big toes come together, your knees as wide as your mat, and draw your sit bones back down towards your heels. I think I'm going to ask you guys this 1,000 times today. What do I need today? Just checking in. If you need something more restful, allow your elbows to just hang out down on the mat. If you're feeling a little more energized, lift your elbows up off the mat. Taking a long, deep inhale, a long, deep exhale. And wherever you are, lift your elbows up off of the mat. Draw your fingertips toward the top of the mat, and at the same time, actively draw your hips down toward your heels. So you're stretching yourself lengthwise, one end to the other, letting it feel good as you open up that upper back, upper shoulder area. And as you do, tend your fingers, lift your forehead, and walk toward the right-hand side of the mat. Exhale, lower back down. That forehead might plant down, it might hover. Either way is okay. If you have blocks and you want support, place a block underneath your forehead. You might even plant that left hand over your right, but only if your head can stay in between both hands. And actively draw that left hip down towards your left heel. Feel that opening, maybe even from the left armpit all the way down to the left hip. For sure, you feel that left rib cage opening up. If you've been sitting a lot, it's undoing all of that sitting that you've been doing. And then tense your fingers, lift your forehead, walk all the way toward the left-hand side. Forehead plants down. Where it hovers, again, it doesn't matter. Maybe that right hand plants over top of your left. Actively draw that right rib cage down towards your right heel right hip down towards your right heel this time. And just notice that expansion. And tense your fingers, lift your forehead. Come on back into tabletop position. And yeah, we're gonna go down onto our back. Sweep your feet out underneath you. And just a little bit of a reclined pigeon to begin with. Cross your right leg over your left. You can leave that left foot down if that's a lot for your hips. This is the first kind of deeper hip opener that we're doing. Or if you're ready, pick that left leg up, hands behind your left hamstring. If you want more than that, take a bend into that left knee and hang on towards your left shin. Either way, both sets of toes more or less points up toward the sky. They're doing something. Actively draw that right knee out toward the front of the mat. And you're gently drawing that left knee into the right foot. Just getting a sense for where your hips are at today. All right, gently allow it to come back down. Uncross your legs, other side. Again, you choose where you want that right leg to be. Drawing that left knee out, right knee into your left. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale and hug both knees into your chest. Maybe a bit of low back release here. If you don't feel anything for your low back when your knees are together, just draw them apart a couple of inches. Maybe rock from side to side. And on the note of that low back, if any part of your back is kind of sore, maybe even injured today, then just tip onto one side or the other and use your hands to help you up. Otherwise, rock up and down. A little bit of spinal massage up and down. We're going to keep going, so be prepared to keep going until you come all the way up into your seated. Hands come forward, hop or step toward the back of the mat. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog cobra, flowing through. Exhale, downward dog. Your belly button to your spine as you flow through to protect that low back area. So pedal out your feet as you'd like, as you need. Drawing in your right, then your left, then your right, giving some freedom to that back leg line. And then notice your foundation while you're at it. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart. Your feet are about hip distance apart. And you're pressing through all 10 fingertips and the bottoms of your knuckles so that you take the brunt of the weight away from your wrists and you practice safely without having to extend the capabilities of your wrist. And finally, this is a spinal decompression. So press your hands down and up into the mat. Your gaze toward the back wall or the navel. Nice downward dog. And then gently walk your feet toward your hands. Ragdoll, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Rock your body from side to side and up and down. The weight more or less on the balls of your feet. And shake your head yes. And no, find space in that upper body, especially again, that shoulder area. The shoulders scrunching up toward the ear. So this is undoing all of that fine space. Allow your arms to completely dangle. Shake off anything else that you might be hanging on to. And inhale, flat back, look forward, hands on your shins or hands on the ground. And inhale, arms up overhead, hands to heart center, palms face forward, Tadasana. And before we keep going with our flow, we've already started. Notice the weight through your feet and how equally balanced they are through the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet, from the outside to the inside, evenly distributed with your weight. Hands, palms face forward, shoulders away from your ears. And just take a moment here to notice the harmony within your body. In Friday's class in Restorative, we talked about the yin and the yang and how there's always harmony in nature, all of nature, there's harmony. There's a fall and autumn, there's a winter and a summer and a spring. So within you, there's this strength and there's this softness. So it's like as if you've got roots growing from underneath your feet. That's how strong and stable you are standing here in Tadasana. That strength, that power coming up through your legs, your torso, even extending off past the crown of your head. So you stand tall. And yet there's this softness of your shoulders drawing away from your ears, softness in the backs of your knees. So your knee should not look like as though it's popping back. So just gentle micro bend in the back of your knees. And softness in the crux of your elbow. So you stand here in harmony in and of yourself. And that's how we'll flow. Clasp your hands behind you. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. Energize and bring a slight bend into your knees as you forward fold, opening up your chest and the front of your shoulders. Keep drawing your arms up and overhead. That is, of course, unless it feels like as your bones are grinding or crunching together, in which case just leave your hands by your sacrum. It is never a good thing for your bones to ever feel like they're crunching or grinding together. Okay, if your low back is feeling okay, maybe even lengthen out, straighten out those legs. Hands come back down towards your sacrum. Allow your hands to come toward the backs of your heels. And with your hands staying in the backs of your heels, draw your sit bones down, arms up above your ears. Utkatasana. Let's do 2 flows of Surya Namaskar B together. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Inhale, flat back, look forward, and exhale, plant your hands, hop or step toward the back of the mat, flow through, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or onto your belly. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale, belly button to spine, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, sweep that right foot in between both hands, full soul that left foot down on the ground. Warrior 1. Your hands can't come together, leave them apart. Exhale, hands come over top of that right foot. Step back, and if you're feeling particularly spicy, maybe you leave that right foot lifted. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up toward the sky, and exhale, sweep that left foot in between both hands. Rise up nice and strong, warrior 1. And on your next exhale, hands come over top of that left foot. Step back, of course, unless you want to keep that left foot lifted for a challenge, lower down and smooth through. Eventually you meet in downward dog. And 5 breaths here in downward dog. Long, deep inhale, inhale, and exhale. Keep pressing into the pads of your fingers and your knuckles. Keep pressing your hands down and up into the mat. Lifting your hip up toward the sky. Okay, next inhale, bring a bend into your knees, and exhale, hop or step toward the top of the mat. Keep your hands right by your heels so that your sit bones come down a little lower than you want them to. And inhale, arms up toward the sky, Utkatasana. Hands come to heart center, stand up, Tadasana. Now that harmony within your body, now that we've added a little bit of fire, maybe you can feel it a little more. Legs working, torso working. And yet there's softness in the backs of your knees, the crux of your elbows. Okay, one more time. Use this as your moving meditation if you can. 1 movement per inhale, 1 movement per exhale, and allow it to get you into the flow. I'll guide you, but move as fast or as slow as you want. This is your practice. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step toward the back of the mat. Flow through, Chaturanga Dandasana, or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale that right leg up toward the sky, and exhale, sweep it in between both hands. Rise up nice and strong, warrior 1. Inhale and exhale, hands come over top of that right foot. Keep that right foot lifted or allow it to come down as you flow through. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana, or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale that left leg up toward the sky. And exhale, sweep that left foot in between both hands. Full sole of that right foot down on the mat. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And next exhale, hands come over top of that left foot. Step back, maybe keeping that left foot lifted as you flow through. Lower down, Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths in downward dog. Long, deep inhale. And exhale. Long breaths, long, deep inhale. And exhale. 3 more. Then inhale, bring a bend into your knees and exhale, hop or step toward the front of the mat, hands down by your heels and arms up toward the sky. Utkatasana. Let's take a twist, hands to heart center. Twist, right elbow over your left leg, right elbow over your left leg, and just watch where that right hip goes. There's a tendency for that right knee to try to sneak past the left. So right hand over your left knee. Maybe you open up your wings, right hand toward the outer edge of that left foot and left arm up toward the sky. Hands come back together and take one big step back with that right foot. So you're now in a twisted lunge. Keep rising up through that twisted lunge. Begin to open up your arms, right hand in front, left arm behind your gaze, right past that right leg or that left leg. Inhale, arms up toward the sky and allow that full sole, that right foot to plant down on the mat. Warrior one. Let's keep going. Step up with that right knee, a little bit of strength here, and step back into a warrior three. Airplane pose, arms right wide out beside you, kicking back with that right foot, and maybe even drawing that right hip toward the top of the mat. Nice. Gently allow the ball of that right foot to plant down on the mat. Crescent lunge. Another heart opener as you inhale. Allow your hands come down to cactus arms. And take a slight back bend as you bring your gaze toward the wall behind you. Inhale, arms come up. And gently lower down into low runner's lunge. Right knee plants down on the mat. Left hand to left leg. Tip on over toward the left hand side. Inhale. Both hands come toward the center of that left foot toward the outer edge of the mat. And the left hand to left leg, gaze past your left leg. If you're feeling inclined to do so, bring a bend into that right knee. Maybe you reach back with that left hand and take a hold of that right foot. And to be clear, do not land on the pointiest part of that right knee because that hurts. Land on the softest part. So the lowest part of your quadricep for that quadricep stretch. And without slingshotting that foot back, gently allow that right foot to come all the way back down. Both hands back toward the center and step back, high plank. Lower all the way down onto your belly. And let's take a mindful cobra together. So let's try baby cobra to begin with. Inhale, baby cobra. So baby cobra, it's just the strength of your upper and mid back. You can even lift your hands. Exhale, lower down. And if it's okay for that low back, then inhale, come up to cobra, recruiting the use of your arms. A nice smooth curve from the base of your spine all the way through to the crown of your head. Draw the crown of your head up toward the sky. Draw your heart up toward the sky. And exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes underneath the mat. Firm your belly button to the spine because I think you can. Or either way, give it a shot anyways. Pop all the way up into high plank. Press back, downward dog. Let's warm up that upper body a little bit. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Belly button to your spine. And exhale, pressing back with your hands, downward dog. Nice. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Strengthening and warming up those shoulders. Press back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Your hips come up first, belly button to your spine as you come back, downward dog. One last time, except you're gonna stay in high plank for 5 whole breaths. Notice your shoulders stacking over your wrists, your belly button tucking towards your spine, a wall coming up from underneath you and down from above you. So you're not poking your bum up and you're not dumping weight into your low back either. Nice, firm core. 2 more breaths, long, deep inhale. Exhale, I'm shaking too. Oh my God. Inhale. And exhale, press back, downward dog. Bring a bend into your knees, come high up onto your tippy toes, hop or step toward the top of the mat. Hands come back down toward where your heels are and arms up toward the sky. Utkatasana, chair pose, activating your quadriceps. Hands to heart center and twist. Left elbow this time over your right leg. Left elbow over your right leg and just watch. I'm gonna try to be at an angle so you can see where that left knee goes. Usually there's a tendency for that left knee to want to slide in front. So slide it back to match your right knee. Open up your wings, maybe, if you'd like. Right arm up toward the sky. Left arm down toward the outer edge of that left foot. Right foot. Hands come back down together. And take a big step back with that left foot, standing twisted lunge. Of course, if it's hard to do from Utkatasana, from chair pose, stand up whatever way you can to get into it. And then rise all the way up, windmill your arms up and out in front of you. This time, left arm in front, right arm behind. Press into the ball of that left heel. Keep pressing into the ball of that left heel. Nice. Arms come up overhead, crescent lunge. Lower down, cactus arms. And on your next inhale, bring your gaze toward the back wall, opening up that heart center. And inhale, arms come all the way back up. Draw that left knee into your chest. Holy cow. And then press back. It's hard to talk and practice at the same time. Now I have a new appreciation for all those YouTubers out there who do the yoga videos. Okay, keep pressing back with that left foot, like as if you're trying to put your footprint on the wall behind you. That's going to help you with your balance. Arms right wide out beside you, also to help you with your balance. And then slowly, gently drop all the way down onto the ball of that left foot, arms up above your head, and gently lower down onto your left knee. Right hand on your right knee, left arm tips on over toward the right hand side, allowing that left hip flexor to open up. The hip flexor is just like kind of the front part. Some people call it their hips. Their hips. And especially if you've been sitting for a really long time, this is really, really good to undo that sitting. Inhale, arm comes up and both hands toward the center of the mat, right foot toward the outer edge and right hand to right leg, gaze past that right leg. So you're opening up the hips here. If you would like to also open up your quadriceps, a bend in that left knee. Again, don't land on the pointiest part of your knee because that hurts. Land on the softest part of your quadricep. And maybe just that bend is good enough for you. You can already feel that opening in the quadricep. But if you want more, need more, reach that right hand back behind you and take hold that left foot. Nice, gently allow that left foot to come all the way down onto the mat. Both hands back to center. Tuck your left toes underneath the mat. Step back with your right foot and lower all the way down onto your belly. Your choice, baby cobra or cobra. Inhale, heart up toward the sky. These heart openers are really energizing, giving us a nice burst of energy for our Monday morning or Monday afternoon. Exhale, lower all the way back down. And let's do some supine. Let's come into locust pose. Your hands come back behind you, palms face the sky, your forehead on the mat to begin with. And we'll just do the upper body first. Whenever you're ready, inhale, rise up through that upper body, heart up toward the sky. It's like as if someone has a ribbon right up stuck onto the crown of your head and it's gently pulling it up. And exhale. exhale, lower down. Nice. Bring a bend into your knees. And then we'll do bow pose. Perhaps you hang on to the outer edges or inner edges of your ankles. And whenever you're ready, inhale, toes point back behind you. Begin to kick your legs into your arms, heart up toward the sky. Inhale. Come up just a little higher. Exhale, lower all the way back down, one side of the cheek or the other onto your mat. Taking a few breaths here. And then one more time for both sides, or for both poses. The palms of your hands face the sky. Inhale, rise all the way up, lifting up through your chest, strengthening that entire backside. And this time, perhaps your feet lift off the ground as well. Inhale, come a little higher. Exhale, inhale, come just a tad higher. And exhale, lower down onto the opposite cheek. Bring a bend into your knees. Bow pose. Hang on to the inner or outer edges of your ankles. Your toes point back behind you. And sometimes, you know what, just hanging onto your ankles, this might be a good enough heart opening for you. If that's the case, remember, coming back to what do I need today? You could just stay exactly as you are. Or whenever you're ready, begin to kick your feet into your hands and lift up through your chest. Dandasana, your bow pose. Opening up the front of your shoulders, your chest, strengthening your back at the same time. Inhale, come a little higher. One more full breath. Inhale. Exhale, and gently lower all the way back down, opposite hand to opposite elbow, forehead on your forearms, and draw your feet out toward the outer edges of your mat. Crocodile pose. Nice. Use your hands and press yourself back into a child's pose, or if you prefer, seed pose. Seed pose, your knees are closer together. Child's pose, your knees are as wide as your mat, and your hands can be out in front of you or back behind you. Inhale, rise up, tabletop position, sweep your feet out in front of you and draw them out into a nice wide V shape. Use your hands and remove the fleshy bits of your sit bones away from you. Your toes point more or less up toward the mat. Inhale, sit tall. So if it seems like as you're holding soup in your pelvis, or my favorite one of my yoga teachers once called it sun tanning your pelvis. If that seems to be the case for you, and if I do it this way and you're rounding forward, prop yourself up onto a block. And that's going to give you a little bit more space. A block or a book will do. Then whenever you're ready, inhale, sit tall, and exhale, fold forward. Noticing that inner leg line opening up. Bring your gaze 2 feet in front of you to encourage your backside to flatten out, lengthen out. Nice, inhale, rise all the way back up and draw your legs together. Your right leg out, your left leg inside your right. Inhale, arms up toward the sky, pivot toward that right leg, and exhale, fold forward. Again, your hands can just land wherever they need to land. Flat back, or as flat of a back as you can. Your gaze 2 feet in front of you to encourage that length. And then inhale, arms up toward the sky. Your right peace fingers over your right big toe. Inhale, left arm up and overhead. And just let that left arm drape over like a rainbow. Once again, undoing all of that sitting, opening up that left rib cage. And you're taking this pose with the intention that one day your left fingers might touch the right big toe. But wherever you are, as long as you're feeling this down through the left side body, you're good to go. And just watch where that left shoulder is, because if it hunches forward, gently take it back and give yourself. Inhale, reach up, rise up, stretch up. And left leg comes in front, right leg inside the left arm up toward the sky. Pivot toward that left leg and fold forward. Hinge at your hips, leading with your chest so your heart comes forward and your hands land wherever they need to land. Inhale, rise up. Left peace fingers over your left big toe. Inhale, right arm up and overhead, draping it over like a rainbow. And again, watching if that right shoulder is hunching forward. If it is, just gently tuck it back. Eventually, one day, maybe, right fingers might even reach your left knee. Opening up that side body. And inhale, reach up, rise up, come all the way back up. Nice. Draw your knees together, come down onto your mat and take a happy baby. The soles of your feet up toward the sky. Hang on toward the inner or outer edges of your feet or your peace fingers over your big toes. And maybe you even rock from side to side of it. Maybe you stretch one leg out and the other, getting a little bit playful. And then allow the soles of your feet to come down onto the mat. Draw your heels in close enough so that you can graze the backs of your feet are about hip distance apart. Tuck your chin towards your chest, and whenever you're ready, press your feet into the mat and lift your hips up toward the sky. Maybe you roll one shoulder under and then the other, eventually clasping your hands together. Keep drawing your hips up toward the sky. Using this nervous system as you allow the heart to be above the head as it is. And then gently release. Unclasp your hands, unroll your shoulders. Allow the soles of your feet to come together to wing out into a butterfly pose. And one last chest opening. Open up your shoulders and your hands into cactus arms. Keep releasing breath here. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh. If things got loud along the way, the pace seems to quicken, maybe a little bit hurried. Soften. Notice your shoulders softening, your chest softening, your inner leg lines. Draw your knees back together. Your legs out in front of you, your hands down beside you. Shavasana. Open up your arms wide enough so that you can feel both shoulder blades nice and flat down against the mat. Not so high that it feels like as if your shoulders are scrunching up towards your ears. Palms face the sky. Feet flopped out to either which way, and let's settle in with one releasing breath here. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And don't hold back. Exhale. Side up. Think and think. And as you settle into this place of rest, come back to that knowing of knowing that there's nowhere else that you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. I'll just sink into that freedom, bask in that relief. Knowing this is it. This is just being. Just you allow yourself to take 5 of the fullest, deepest breath that you've taken all day to complete your fast. Allow your next breath to bring movement back into your body. Fingers, your hands, and your feet. Maybe eventually even do that. Nice deep stretch. Then as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest, your arms around your knees, rock from side. Eventually, side of the other, and there's still no way. Use your hands to help you up into. As you arrive, hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra, and bow in towards yourself, closing your eyes one last time, taking a moment here to acknowledge yourself.
For showing up on your mat today, for asking yourself, what do I need? And allowing yourself to have that. And of course, for the light within yourself. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.